Welcome to the Emotionally Baked podcast, where emotions and baking are the two most perfect ingredients. Hello, and welcome back to the Emotionally Baked podcast, where we talk about our emotions, all while baking something yummy and the hopes of working it out. So here we are. We're going to make something different today. This is perimenopause and pizza crust. This is for dinner tonight. So I'm going to start out by activating my yeast. I'm going to go a teaspoon into some warm water. We're going to let that sit for a second because you got to have your yeast activate. So we got that in our warm water. I love the smell of dough. It smells so good. We're doing a different baking because I need this for supper. And yeah, I felt like, oh my goodness. And speaking of perimenopause, well, we were going to, gotta drink my protein. I have my protein shake. And yes, I have to put it in something pretty, so I want to drink it. So, perimenopause. And this is an easy recipe. This pizza dough is super yummy, super easy. I do have a gigantic pizza wheel that I do kind of flatten this out on to make my pizza. And it's just flour, the oil, salt, yeast, and water. And I'm going to use my stand mixer to have that dough paddle just kind of mix it all up. So I don't have to do it, which is good. Yeah. So perimenopause. Ladies, I am going through it. I don't know if y'all are. I'm 44 and yep, already doing the perimenopause thing. It's hitting. And I feel like perimenopause is in itself an emotion because it has so many emotions. I just feel like all the time which is why I figured out that I was in perimenopause because, my roller coaster. I have emotions, obviously, because I do this podcast a lot, but I was thinking to myself, oh boy, like what is going on? And it's very important to notice things that are happening with yourself and go see somebody. And I went to my doctor and I was just like, I don't know, all these emotions and all these things, and what can we do? So we have together concluded perimenopause. And so here we are, we're managing through it, but we should talk about it because it's nuts, right? Oh my goodness, it's nuts. Okay, so it calls for a tablespoon of oil, which I'll put in a second, and a little bit of salt. Using this bowl today because it's going to go right on the stand mixer, and 3 cups of flour. So I'm going to go ahead and put the 3 cups of flour in here. The great thing about making stuff like this for supper or the stand mixer is that it does it all for you. It does the work. Like don't stress yourself out mixing and kneading dough. Like I remember doing this for the first time. Any dough. Like I remember not having a mixer and then having a mixer, and I was just like, made my life so much easier. So yeah. All right. So we have the 3 cups of flour in here. And once I feel like the yeast is activated enough, it's starting. It's a light bubble. It did say I could mix the salt and the oil in with it, and sometimes that does help. Like I think I've said before, when you do some recipes, it does say like put the sugar in with it, or or whatever, and it does help the yeast kind of activate, I don't know. So we'll put the oil and the salt in here. We'll see what happens. Tablespoon of oil, mix it up, and we're gonna put a little half a teaspoon of salt. I'm just using my salt shaker, y'all. I know it's probably not the best idea, but hey. All right, so we'll let that activate for a sec. Ooh, it's bubbling. Okay. So, perimenopause. One thing is you gotta find those those people who are going through it with you. There are so many fun accounts that I follow on Instagram, on social media, that are just so funny, that help through feeling all the things. And so you know you're not alone. I definitely had to, when I was feeling all the things, I was looking up like, am I the only one who feels this way or has these feelings? Or nope, I was not. So, and then that kind of helped me figure out that I was in perimenopause as well. So that was a good thing. Let's see. Some perimenopause things that have just kind of sprung up on me as I've gotten older. And I think, if some people think that like, oh, well, you know, in your 40s is too early to go into perimenopause. Oh no, like I read somewhere, and also my doctor is telling me that like perimenopause can last, it can start and last for a long period amount of time. It can last for, I mean, years. It's not just like a short amount of time. It can last a long time, which oh my, like I couldn't believe when she said that. It was like 10 years. Like you can be in perimenopause for like ever, and until you get into menopause. Oh my goodness. I mean, the things that us women go through. But yeah, no, experiencing things like, let me think. It was really difficult for me to go to sleep. And then once I got to sleep, I was like waking up and just heightened like forgetfulness or that type of thing. And then it was like the frustration that came along with all the other things with that. And then all of my other emotions were heightened. Like everything was just more, either more sad or more anxious, or, you know, and then there were times it was like, you know, I do feel better with some things. You know, I do feel, when I'm happy, I feel, you know, pretty good and all the things. So everything was just expounded, and it was almost overwhelming how it was. It was like, what is going, like, it was a noticeable change. It wasn't just like, oh, I'm feeling extra sad this month, or I'm feeling extra anxious this month, or I'm feeling I track my emotions on I have like a reading book journal that has like stuff I'm reading and just a whole bunch of other things that I decided to put in emotions in there. And I track how I'm feeling. And I was just like, the days that I was just feeling meh, or I was just frustrated, I was, you know, happy too, but all the things, it was just like, I can't believe how much the emotions were just more. There were just more of. And then there was the bodily changes as well, like TMI. But all of a sudden, like, things were just different. Like, things were, you know, monthly cycles weren't what they were, and just all of it was changing, and just didn't understand, like, why was this going on? Yeah. And then it just makes you take a step back, and I need to talk to somebody about it. Like, what is going on? Okay. we are going to put this on the stand mixer. We're going to let this do its thing and mix all up. Okay, so I let that mixer do its job. And look at that nice ball of dough. And I'm just going to cover this up with a little pan and let that sit and wait for me for this evening. And I'm just going to flatten it. Woo! Flatten it out on this pie plate. And then we're just going to do a simple sauce and some cheese. And there we go. I mean, it's going to be that simple. So yeah. And while I was getting this pie pan out of the oven, my perimenopause flared, and totally forgot that I had left something in the oven from days ago. I had baked some pumpkin seeds, roasted them to snack on, eat, and I left them in the oven. And now they're just totally, you can't, no. I cannot, the forgetfulness is real. Like, it is something totally totally crazy and different. Like, I literally will, yeah. I just forget, I forget things, and it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. So I will come back and film when we're getting this all together. And the dough, I didn't have tons of yeast. It was just a teaspoon of yeast. So it's not going to rise terribly. It's just to kind of give that doughy texture, that wonderful bread smell. It's not going to do a huge rise. It's going to do a small rise, but it's going to taste just so good. And we'll come back when we assemble this together. And I just like to sprinkle some, I don't spray this pie, this pizza round thing. I sprinkle it with, what am I trying to say? Cornmeal. I sprinkle it with cornmeal, and then I put my crust on. And it always just comes right up, and it's good. And I don't like to spray it because I like it to keep the flavor of, when you flavor things like iron skillets or things like that, it's just the same gist. You don't want to wash it, and you want to keep it nice and flavored, seasoned, I guess they'd say. So yeah, perimenopause. It is a journey, y'all. Ladies, if you're listening to this, I don't even know. Sometimes I don't even know where I'm at. Don't even know. Okay, so we're going to take a break and then come back as when we assemble. In true perimenopause fashion, I totally forgot to talk through this end of the baking process. So here we go. I'm just going to go ahead and spread out the dough onto my pie pan, and I'm just going to use a rolling pin to do that. My pizza round kept moving, so I finally had to put something underneath so it would stop moving around. And I couldn't believe that I totally forgot to even talk while I was doing this. I just was in a zone. My brain was totally switched into a different gear. I was thinking I needed to get stuff ready for supper, and I blacked out and didn't even think about chatting and talking and finishing this up. It was so funny to go back and watch. And if you're just listening on the podcast, you have no idea. Oh, this is so funny. And yeah, I have been on social media since I recorded my podcast, and it's just so funny to hear that, or to know that your phone listens to you, because I just got so many more things and videos about perimenopause. It's crazy, but I'm not alone, and that feels good to know. So here's all the dough all spread out and ready to go. I am just going to go ahead, and my family likes a simple pizza, just sauce and cheese. I did add some spices to the top, so I just did a simple tomato sauce, and I did put provolone and like a mixed cheese on top to kind of, give it a whole bunch of different flavors. And then on the top, I put some garlic salt and just your typical like Italian seasoning blend, just to kind of give it a little something. So as we traverse, if you are in this same season as I am with, finding your kind of way through this different phase of life, I definitely give kudos and commend you for the strength that it does take to get through it. All right, friends, so that's it for the pizza. Just gonna keep adding the cheese, and I hope you try this recipe. It's super easy. All right, so whether the salt in your recipes comes from tears or a teaspoon, and there are a lot of tears with this perimenopause thing, I've got to tell you, it's crazy. All right, just remember, we baked it out. Have a good one, and see you next time.